The thing that was probably scariest as a student is, it sounds all fine and great to apply to a place like Harvard, but what happens if you can or can't afford it?
When the question of college started coming around,
there was this kind of disconnect between the type of school that I might hope to aspire to as a student and the school I might hope to aspire to financially.
My first interaction with Harvard's financial aid program, my mom and I had finally decided to just go see Harvard, and we were sitting through the info session, and then we heard one of the student presenters say, if your family makes under $65,000 a year, you don't have to pay anything to go here. And we both immediately woke up out of our trances there. We looked at each other and we're like, this could be real.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Being a prospective student, you hope that all the stuff that they put online is true, but you always feel like there's got to be some sort of disclaimer, right? It's like, what are they asking for in return?
When they explain their financial aid policies, my jaw dropped.
The takeaway from Harvard's financial program is very clear, and it's that if your family makes less than a certain amount of money, you're not going to pay it all.
My mom and I, we were just sobbing because neither of us had ever expected that would be an opportunity in our future.
This thirst in my soul, where else can I go but you?
Growing up undocumented, my parents made a really strong effort to really instill in us the fact that we were undocumented, and due to the fact that we were undocumented, there were some things that we just couldn't do. And one of those things was talk about it. And I, started developing interests in music. When I first started, I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to afford an instrument for myself or even have enough money to rent one. So I figured, I'll just join the choir because I just need my voice. Music became a way for me to express myself and express my feelings, and it's played a pretty big role in my life so far.
my mom, dad, and I moved from Chile to Miami when I was around 5 years old.
My dad started out as a valet parking man, and my mom started out waitressing and catering gigs and stuff like that. So I've always been really interested in comedy and video production, and at some point in high school I started getting very into these on Harvard Time videos. And just to my surprise, coming on campus, it was like remarkably easy to become involved.
So we should, because we could talk forever. I want to like move along, and I also want to like come up with decisions at the end of these conversations.
If it weren't for financial aid, I wouldn't be at Harvard, and I wouldn't be behind the camera and making these videos happen. I wouldn't be hopefully communicating a more lighthearted and personal perspective on what Harvard is like on a day-to-day basis.
Turning on to Harvard Street. One street away from Harvard is Maverick Street. I grew up on Maverick Street. My friends always said, Mike, you don't want the closest you ever get to Harvard is Harvard Street. You want to go to the real Harvard.
And the amount of financial aid that I've been given, I could take risks and study things that I really wanted to.
Fitchburg.
I'm originally from Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Fitchburg is recently starting to rebound from hard times. And so when I came to Harvard, I wanted to think about how could I be a part of the solution, or how could I really engage with the city and the different people there. So rather than just kind of think about it and let the moment pass by, I made it the topic of my thesis. And every day I knew that I was doing work that actually meant something.
I've been so lucky through HFI and Harvard to be able to continue dancing in college. A lot of dance schools can be kind of inaccessible financially, but Harvard gave me the opportunity to be a part of a dance community that has so many passionate and talented dancers. So I'll always be thankful for that.
Everything that's happened at Harvard is a direct product of the financial aid program.
Your background shouldn't be a penalty or something that deters you from getting into college, right? If anything, it should be something that, and I think Harvard has shown, is something that's really amazing.
If I think about myself 4 years ago, I could never imagine I would have had the opportunities that I've had.
My parents would wonder, was it worth going through so many difficulties to try to make a better life in this place? And I think them seeing that amazing opportunity that Harvard had given me, I think for them, it was at that point that they felt, it was worth it.